Pete Gustis here with 500 North 3rd Street, here with a couple of questions that I got from investors. So I just thought I'd put the questions online so people can get responses. Question number one, is 500 North 3rd Street a real estate leasing company or a grower? 500 North 3rd Street is a real estate holding company. I do intend to pursue an application for medical marijuana with a different company, All Organic Medical Marijuana, as a grower processor, but they are two separate companies. 500 North 3rd Street is a real estate holding company, which is allowing people to invest in that company. Are you considered an ancillary business which does not touch the plant? That's correct. 500 North 3rd Street is a real estate holding company. So we're not going to be growing. We're basically just leasing space and making sure it's ready for a similar company or another company that may want to lease space in our building. How many growers would be able to occupy the space? In Pennsylvania, the law currently allows only one grower per physical location, so the answer would be one. Explain your revenue model. 500 North 3rd Street is a real estate holding company. So the way we make money is by having a space ready, which is 125,000 square feet, 796 square feet for a company in the medical marijuana market to occupy, and that's how we intend to pay investors. Technically, if we sell the building, we have to pay investors too, per our revenue share agreements. Can the federal government shut down 500 North 3rd Street or its growers? Well, 500 North 3rd Street isn't doing anything illegal by preparing a building for a grower processor, so we aren't in conflict with any federal or state laws. Pennsylvania has approved medical marijuana, and our company, All Organic Medical Marijuana, or any other company that we may partner with, will follow state regulations. So in that case, 500 North 3rd Street is protected under the Cole Memorandum from federal prosecution. And yes, it's possible that federal law could prohibit all states from having medical or recreational marijuana programs. That being said, would growers estimate, what is the grower estimate on the total startup for 500 North 3rd Street with and without 500 North 3rd Street's involvement? 500 North 3rd Street is a real estate holding company, so we don't want to comment on the economic data that any company may need to start a medical marijuana business. What we're offering is a location that we're going to prepare for that business to try to attract a lease tenant. Do you have any competitors? We're in the real estate business. We do feel that we have a prime location, and the real estate market is actually very large. What advantages do you have over your competitors? We have a large size, which is 125,796 square feet. We have a great location, being located in the southeast region of Pennsylvania, but we have a lot of highway access. We have a low amount of debt, verbal approvals from the local city council, who've also approved another grower in our area, Franklin Labs. So I think those are pretty good. Do you have any disadvantages to your competitors? Well, we're a real estate holding company, so I don't feel that we have disadvantages to competitors. But keep in mind, that's what are your major hurdles or obstacles? Finding a qualified grower, of course, would be a major obstacle, because that's a market we're looking for, although we do have options to lease out of our target market. Do you plan on scaling the platform beyond one location? At this time, we currently only own one building. In the future, we may acquire other properties. What previous experience does management have to assist 500 North 3rd Street in executing its business plan strategy? I've been involved in the real estate business for 11 years. I'm a licensed realtor. I've helped people buy, sell, lease commercial and residential properties. As far as managing this, it's very, very simple. Well, I believe it's very simple, and that's what we're doing to ensure profitability. How does marijuana legislation impact your business? if any change in the medical marijuana legislation creates a conflict with the investors, we're still able to lease our building outside of our target market. So even though it can affect it, we may have a lower or delayed profit in returns, but we'd still have the building and still be able to lease to any market segment, which will allow zoning, I should say. What are your major catalysts for 500 North 3rd Street? A partnership with a like-minded company, and funding, of course, would help us achieve our goals very quickly. What are your plans for funds invested from your investors? A primary objective of raising capital is to rehabilitate the building so it's prepared for a medical marijuana grower processor, which in turn will help us attract the partnerships or tenants for our building. Let's see, are the risks for investment minimal due to the fact that 500 North 3rd Street is only leasing the property and not growing? Yes, if federal state regulations cause a concern for a company operating in our premise, we shouldn't have a problem with 500 North 3rd Street, although returns in a non-medical marijuana market may be far less. So we're looking for maximum returns, and that's why we're looking in that target market. What is your estimated revenue growth rate from 1 to 5 years? We intend to be operational and start paying investors back at around 3 to 5 years. We've already had a gun parts manufacturer request short-term lease 1 to 3 years for space in 2018. So we could start paying investors back as soon as 2018 if everything goes well. What are your 3 largest annual expenses? We're looking at the roof rehabilitation, electrical system upgrades, and structural repairs, but these are all one-time expenses. After that, their expenses can be pretty minimal. What occupancy rate do you need to become profitable? Since we're expecting only to operate triple net leases, we could be profitable by leasing 10 to 20% of the building. If we're fully funded, 500 North 3rd Street would be 100% debt-free, and we only need 1 tenant to be profitable. What are your estimated profit margins? We intend to be fully paying our investors back in about 2 years once we're fully operational with a grower processor under the current regulations. What would investors' exit strategy be when they invest in 500 North 3rd Street? Our exit strategy would be to sell the building to pay investors back, yet we have very little debt, and I really think this is highly unlikely. If we're fully funded, we could actually hold the building for 5 years vacant with no lease and no income. Still, we wouldn't expect that we've run out of funds even holding the building vacant, so we would allow other tenants to occupy the property. Also, our costs, they can be under $80,000 a year just to hold the building empty, and if we really needed to, we could probably get those costs down to $30,000 a year, and after the building's repaired. Well, those are the list of questions I had. If you have any questions about investing in 500 North 3rd Street, cannabis-related property, we're paying 3 times returns. Hit the link. It's investinmedicalmarijuana.com with minus signs in between all of the words. And thank you very much.